What's up, realtors? In this video, we're going to be going over what the top 10 automations are that you should be implementing into your real estate business. Now, some of these are very simple automations that you can set up fairly quickly, while some of the other ones are a bit more complicated and will work best if you do some research or if you already know about how to do prompt engineering and work with AI tools. Now, first off, just in case you're not familiar with it, let's talk about what an automation even is. An automation is essentially what it kind of sounds like, where you're automating a certain part of one of your systems or processes. So for example, let's say you have a certain process when you sign a new client. Maybe you start off by sending them the contract, waiting for the signatures, and then maybe you create a folder on your computer, then you send them an email, you create a group chat in WhatsApp, and whatever other steps are involved for your usual onboarding process. What an automation does is it takes that process that you're already doing and it automates the whole thing for you so that it runs in the background of your business on autopilot. That way, every time that you sign a new client, you don't have to do the same process every single time. And I guarantee you, if you take a step back and you look at your business and look at all the individual tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis, there's probably a lot of repetitive things within your business that could be automated. I mean, think about that. If that's 10 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes there, you add it all up, that's probably a couple hours a day that you're doing the same thing every single day. Filtering through your email inboxes, writing LinkedIn posts, little things that are necessary for your business. But if they were automated, you would have a ton of extra time every week to get more listings or even just to go golfing. A lot of videos are gonna show you different ways that you can get more leads, but that's really only effective if you have the time to service those leads. Or maybe you're already a busy agent and you don't want more leads, you want more free time. That's what we're gonna be discussing in this video today, is how to get more of your time back so that you can do with it whatever you want. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first automation that we're gonna talk about is document management. I also call this one buyer or seller onboarding because our clients use it a lot to onboard new clients and to just make the whole document organization and management process like way easier. So most of our automations we build in either Make or in Zapier. In this case, this one is in Make. Now, all of these that I'm going to show you are a sample automation, so you can see the basic structure of it. I'm not going to show you my client's specific automations because there's some confidential information in there, but this is still the basic structure of it, so you'll get the same value out of it. So to start off, the first trigger is watching your DocuSign account. Now you can do this with other e-signature tools, but 90% of all of our clients use DocuSign, so that's why I used it for the example. So it watches your DocuSign account, and then it looks for when a new document has been signed and completed. Once that happens, it passes over to an iterator. If you don't know what an iterator is, basically it just takes some information that you're inputting into the system and sort of organizes it and divides it up. So it takes all that info and then it's going to add it to a Google Sheet that it created. And what basically all that Google Sheet does is it just keeps track of the different DocuSign completions so that it's not repeating itself on the same document. This text aggregator here, what that does is it takes all the Google Sheets cells and basically just looks at everything all at the same time. So that way it knows what DocuSign file IDs have already been completed and which ones haven't. From there, there's a filter on here that basically just makes sure that the DocuSign file ID, or it's actually, I think it's called an envelope ID, that doesn't already exist in the Google Sheets file, because if it did, that means that we've already done it. So as long as it doesn't exist, then it will move on to the next one, which is that it's going to add that envelope ID into the Google Sheet. Then it's going to download the file in DocuSign. So let's just say it's a listing contract or something. It's going to send it over to Google Drive, and it's going to search the Google Drive folder to double check if those clients already exist within your Google Drive. If those clients' names already exist, like they already have their own folder, then it's going to just upload the file into that folder. If it doesn't, if it's some new clients, let's say it's brand new clients that you're onboarding, then it's going to create a folder with them. It's going to name it the names of the clients. It's going to upload those files into that specific folder. And then it's going to take the share link of that folder and send those clients an email. This email can obviously be customized, but most of our clients have it set up as sort of a welcome email saying, hey, welcome to the team. Here's the next steps. Some of them will even send them like a PDF guide of, 10 tips for selling your home or how to prepare your home for being listed. Whatever kind of initial welcome email you want to send, you can send it there. And then it includes the share link of your Google Drive folder and basically says, here's the link to the folder where all of your documents are going to be kept from now on. So now anytime that those clients sign a document, it's going to go through the same automation here And instead of creating a new folder, it's going to go into their folder that we just created, so that the client can always check into that folder and they have all their files just right there handy. Another step that we could add on here that a lot of our clients do is we use Twilio to send texts. So we can create a group chat, or even WhatsApp if you wanted. You can create a group chat with the client so that it sends them a welcome email, and then also creates a group chat that says, hey, updates or showing requests or whatever are going to be in this group chat. And depending on what your normal onboarding process is, you can change this row up here to accommodate that. If you want to, send them a video of you saying hello, or if you want to do a million different things, you can add it here. This bottom row basically is just if they're already existing in your Google Drive folder, then you're just going to add the file into the folder. So this makes it super, super easy. Our clients love it because they don't have to worry about, every single time that a file is signed, then they have to download it. They got to search through their computer to find the specific folder. They got to add that in. Then they got to send an email with that file to the client for their records and all this other stuff. This just kind of does it automatically for them. Another feature that a couple of our clients do, which is pretty cool, is if the client names already exist in Google Drive and it's just adding it to the folder, then they'll have another thing where it sends those clients a text saying, hey, a new file has been added. Little things like that, but it makes a big deal to the client and just makes it really seem like you're on the ball and you're on top of every single document that they have. The second automation that we're going to talk about is social media management. So this can include a number of different things, but the most requested one that our agency gets is just repurposing content across all their platforms so that they don't have to stay on top of every single platform, or even that they don't have to stay on top of like posting all the time. So a big one that we use is repurpose.io. We use this in conjunction with make.com. So we'll use it mainly for TikTok because it works really well for TikTok. And then we'll use some of the other automation tools to add in Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But this works good for all the platforms as well. Obviously, it comes with an extra price. But essentially, what this does is when you post on one platform, it's going to take that video or picture or whatever, and it's going to repost it across whatever other platforms you want to do so that you're only posting once. Now, a second part of this that we also do for a lot of our clients is setting up the actual like scheduling and posting of the social media posts. That's a bit more in depth, so I'm not going to take you through the whole process of how to do that. But if you learn make.com and Zapier and some of these other ones, then you can probably figure out how to do it over time. But basically, we use a tool like Buffer, which lets you schedule your social media posts. So what we have our clients do is we set up a Google Drive folder for them. When they take a video or they have a post that they want to do or whatever, all they do is they add it to that Google Drive folder. And then when a new file has been uploaded in it, the automation starts and it basically adds it to whatever platform it needs to, or it adds it to Buffer, and then Buffer schedules it from there, and then yada, yada, yada. Now, with this scheduling automation, I still tell my clients to, still be checking in once a week or twice a week on the schedule to make sure that everything is running how it should. With some of these automations, you have to be checking in every now and then and correcting certain things, especially if AI is involved, because you have to train that AI. So that's one of the services that our clients come to us for, is the monthly management of these automations, so that we're the ones staying on top of it and they don't have to, because it kind of defeats the purpose of an automation if you have to constantly be checking in on it. So that's something that we take off of our clients' plates so that they don't have to think about it. It just runs for them. The third one we're going to talk about is sort of a calendar assistant that just keeps up to date with different dates within contracts. So like condition days or closing days or things like that. Honestly, this is the most complicated automation that we do, probably because there's so many different AI steps. So you have to do specific prompting, you have to train the AI, and there's so many different paths that the AI has to go down because of different style of documents and stuff. So this one is like advanced level automation for sure. But once you get it down, it is so handy. So I'm going to show you here sort of a very basic high level version of it. It's not fully complete because this goes into like 100 more different steps that we have to do. And I wanted to build this quickly for the video here, but you'll get the point of what can be accomplished with it. So same sort of thing as before. The trigger is it watches your DocuSign and it waits for a signed and completed document. Then it goes into an iterator and it downloads that document just like before. The difference here is it then sends it to Google Cloud Vision. What that does is it basically breaks the PDF down into just simple text so that we can send that text over to an OpenAI module where the AI will look over the whole text. From there, it determines what type of document it is. And then from here, you go to a router where you would break apart all the different types of documents that you're going to see. So maybe you have listing contracts, you have buyer representation forms, you have amendments, you have condition removal documents, whatever like all the documents are that you're going to typically see on a regular month, you're going to break down into these separate channels, and you're going to add filters that's going to filter what type of document it is. So this OpenAI module is going to tell you, oh, it's this type of document. And from there, the filter is then going to tell the automation what path to go down. So let's just say, for example, it's for this client, they have exclusive seller representation forms, it's called. So it goes into here, it would detect that it's that type of document. From there, it goes into another custom AI module on the back end that we built. So it's like a custom agent. And that's trained on reading real estate documents. And it can look over the whole document and it can determine what dates are laid out in that document. So for a seller representation, there would be like when the agreement starts and when the agreement ends, or maybe specific other dates of when they want to close on the home or like whatever. Every document's going to have different dates. Then it breaks it up into just basic JSON language. If you don't know what JSON is, it's just like a type of coding language. Then that goes into another AI module where it determines what kind of date it is so that it knows what to upload into your calendar. So it's not just going to upload a thing that says important date here. It's going to upload into your calendar that this is the completion day for whatever. I left it blank here because depending on what calendar you're using or what kind of contract you're using or what state or what province you live in, this changes. So that's why I say this one is very complicated, because we have to customize it to each individual agent that we work with, depending on the tools that they use and the type of documents that they're doing and whatever. But yeah, so it determines what the date is, like specifically what it is. And then usually we go into another AI module where it's going to then determine how to actually name the reminder in your calendar. Then it's going to move over to your calendar. So let's say it was Google Calendar, and it's going to add that specific date in along with the description. So it's going to say whatever, let's say May 30th, closing day for whatever address. I don't recommend that you try implementing this until you really wrap your head around make and how to do specific AI prompting and a lot of more kind of advanced techniques, because there's so many different steps here and so many places that it could go wrong that you're probably going to get very frustrated and want to quit. But like I said, once you do have this whole system down, and we've done this for numerous clients, so now we have it down pretty well. But once you have it down, it's a game changer because your calendar just automatically updates for you. It's like having an assistant on your back end that's just telling you and reminding you, hey, next week we have this, hey, whatever. And you can also set up reminders within here for like 1 week prior or 1 day prior. It's going to remind you about certain things. Or if you can get really advanced, that we've done with some of our clients, where they have specific sequences that they already do for like closing gifts and things like that. So let's say 1 week before the possession day of one of their homes, it's going to automatically send an email to this flower company that's going to schedule the flowers to arrive at the home on a specific day. Or maybe a basket company that's going to do like a welcome baskets type thing, and that's going to automatically order that basket. Different things like that you can just completely automate and just take it off your hands completely. The next one we're going to talk about is your lead management. And this can mean a million different things depending on how you get your leads and what your CRM is. So again, I'm not going to show you this specific make automation here for our clients because I don't want to show you what their ads look like or what, their secret sauce is. But basically what you can do with this is you can take any type of lead that you're bringing in, whether it's Facebook ads or Instagram ads, even ads that your brokerage is giving you, and you can automate the process of how you service those leads. So I'll just show you here how to kind of start it in a basic way. Let's just say that you're using like HubSpot CRM. And I'm only saying this because that's seems to be what a lot of our solo agents are using, not ones that are part of big teams. They use kind of the bigger like KV Core or Lofty. But a lot of solo agents seem to use HubSpot because it's just so cheap. So you would put it in the HubSpot CRM module, and you could do something like this watch contacts trigger. So what this does is it watches your HubSpot CRM and it waits for a new contact to be added in. Now, again, there's a million different ways to go about this. Maybe you're managing everything on your own. Maybe your brokerage is adding in contacts as they divvy up the leads to you. But you can set up the trigger so that when a new contact is added into HubSpot, it either will send them an email immediately, it could send them a text immediately. You can send yourself a text so that you know to follow up with them right away. You can even have AI write up the email for you that's maybe customized to the specific information that was put into the CRM, and then just save it as a draft so that, every morning you just wake up and you look at all of your email drafts and you can decide which ones to send or which ones to edit or whatever. So again, sorry I can't show you like a specific one here because I don't want to give away my clients' secret sauce on their ads and kind of what they're doing. But just think of it like however you're currently servicing your leads, or even if you want to improve that system so that it's more streamlined or more effective, you can do it with automations and pretty much automate the entire thing so that as new leads come in, let's say you're running Facebook ads and people are responding to the Facebook ads, as they come in, it'll just automatically like send them a guide that you have or send them a market report or like different things. And it's just done automatically in the background. So you're not spending 2 hours a day servicing all your different Facebook leads. Because let's face it, most of the time when you're getting these Facebook leads in and stuff, like a very small percentage of it are actual interested buyers or sellers. And you have to filter through a lot of that and you have to kind of go through the motion. It's a numbers game, right? So if this is all automated for you, you're not spending countless hours going through leads that are not going to go anywhere just to find the one or two that actually will. Automations will do it all for you in the back end. The next one that we're going to talk about is actually two of them that we're going to kind of combine into one. And I say two of them because we do the two separately depending on what our client uses for platforms and things like that. But essentially it's article and blog post writing. So we automate the whole process and have AI do the whole thing for us. And you might have seen some of these or read some of these blog articles created by AI in the past. And a lot of times, even when you're reading them, you're like, this sounds like a robot created it. And that's only because of bad prompting. So if you don't know how to prompt correctly, it's going to sound very robotic. But if you know how to prompt and you know how to train and sort of teach that AI how to make these really natural sounding articles or repost other articles that are being created, you can boost your engagement like crazy because you're constantly posting throughout the day. And it also adds to you being an authority within your marketplace because you're constantly staying up to date with like real estate news and what's happening in your city and things like that. So there's sort of three different automations that combine into one to make this whole thing work. So the first one that we're looking at is we created a custom RSS feed. If you don't know what an RSS feed, it's basically like an internet feed of different blogs or different news articles that's happening, and it sort of combines it into one place. So we created a specific RSS feed that watches for like real estate news and like local market news that's happening within the client's city. When a new one is posted, we created a custom Airtable where the link to that article is going to be added so that we're not working off the same article all the time. That's going to go into a text aggregator so that just like one of the other automations, we can just look over the entire table all at once. As long as it's a new post and not an article that we've already worked off of, then it's going to go into an AI module. It's going to look at the entire article and either, depending on what you want to do, you can have it rewrite the entire article in your own words, or you can just summarize it for like a shorter Facebook post or like Twitter post or something. So depending on what you want to do, you can have it rewrite there. And then it's also going to create a title based off of what's in the article. And you can get super technical with these in the AI modules. You can train it and tell it to be very heavily focused on like SEO or on hashtags so that it's writing it in a way that's going to get noticed and going to get clicks. Again, you can do this even for just your website blog if you want. So if you want to constantly be updating your website with specific blogs that have specific SEO optimized keywords, you can do that as well. Once it writes everything, it's going to add it to another Airtable where it's going to add in the description and the title and all that stuff. And then it's going to send the client a text saying, hey, you have a new post uploaded into your Airtable, check it out and approve it. So the reason why we did it this way is because just in case there was a blog post written about an article that we don't want to post on our page, let's say maybe it was too political or it just wasn't really fitting with our brand or whatever it is, this gives the agent a chance to look over the articles that are being written and approve them or decline them. So what that looks like is when it sends the agent a text, it also has a link to the Airtable, so they just click it on their phone. On mobile, Airtable is super easy to use as well. That's why we chose Airtable over like Google Sheets or something, because it's super mobile friendly. But you can see here, it's going to show you what platform it was written for. So like these are written specifically for LinkedIn, and it's going to show you the description that it wrote. So for this one, we didn't have it write an entire article. We just had it write a description so that we can use it for LinkedIn. And then it's going to link back to the original article. So this will show you exactly what the AI wrote. You can edit it if you want to edit it or just leave it. And it also does specific hashtags that are specific to our city and to what the agent wanted. The title you can see here, it wrote a little title. You can't see the whole thing, but writes a title for you. And then ready to post is the part that the agent is going to engage with. So if they look over everything and they're like, yep, looks good to me, they're going to change this from no to yes. So that's all they got to do. And then there's some other information here, like the original link and blah, blah, blah. The picture here is blank, and I'll show you why in a second. So the agent updates whatever ones they want to post. The second part to this automation is kind of the same thing, except it works off of a Google alert instead of an RSS feed. So it's just basically to add in extra articles coming in so that we constantly have a big flow of articles to write, but works off basically the same way with a lot of the same AI modules and stuff, and then also sends me a text. Same thing. And then the third part of this automation that sort of brings it all together is a trigger that watches the Airtable so that when one of those articles is switched over to yes to post it, it detects there. And then this is the coolest part of it. So it uses AI to actually create a thumbnail image for that post. And it does this by reading the whole article and then takes all of the information and it creates an AI image for that. Then it just goes into an HTTP module so that it can see what that image is, posts it to LinkedIn, and then deletes that record from the Airtable so that the Airtable constantly stays organized with just new up-to-date information. Now, if you live in the US, you can very easily do this for Facebook as well. So you could do LinkedIn and Facebook. Canada, it's a little more difficult because we have the like Canadian news laws where you can't post news articles on Facebook. There is a little bit of workaround that you can do with just sort of posting a link and not the actual art. This whole thing, but we found that for Canada, the Facebook part's not really worth it, but LinkedIn is really good because with this, like you can be posting 10 articles a day on LinkedIn, and just imagine what that does for making you look like an authority within your local real estate market. So this is a really big one that we do for our clients. They love this because it brings in leads basically for free and also just keeps their account up to date and helps also when people are like searching you up. If you constantly are posting new stuff all the time, Google tends to rank you up. So that helps a lot too. Another really popular one that our clients request all the time is an email organizer or like an email assistant. So here's just an example of something you can do. Again, guys, I'm just showing you sort of quick examples of how to do it because there's a million different ways that you can go about it, but this will show you just sort of the basic way to get started. And then as you start building these automations, you'll see like what's possible and sort of what modules to put into where, but it all varies depending on what type of email platform you're using and what your process is that you're actually trying to automate. So for this example, we have a Gmail automation that watches for new emails coming in. And then from there, it switches over to an AI module that determines what the intent of that email was. So if it was a spam email or if it was a new lead that came in from maybe Facebook or from your brokerage or whatever, it's then going to send that into a multiple variable tool that basically tells it what specific things to look for. And then from there, it's going to go to another AI module that's going to classify it even more. And then you can set up different paths for it to go down depending on how you want it to organize your emails. Now, I will specifically tell you that you need to determine to what extent you want your email assistant or whatever you want to call it to actually mess around with your email inbox. Because if you let AI just go wild with your email, there's a lot of bad things that could happen because you still need to maintain control of your inbox. But where this can really help you out is for filtering out spam emails that you don't care about, letting you know when an urgent email needs to be replied to, or letting you know when a specific company or a specific email has come in. So let's say you want to know immediately as soon as like your real estate board has emailed you, for example, you can set it up so that the AI will detect from that specific email address or from a specific company name. And as soon as they send you an email, it's going to send you a text right away. Another big one that we set up for our clients is using the Gmail module to detect when a new email has come in and detect when the AI should reply to it. And the AI will just write email drafts for you to all of your emails. And then in the morning time, you just wake up and you just look over all your different draft emails and you just approve which ones you want to send and which ones you don't. So that way you still maintain power of what gets sent and what doesn't, but you save so much time because you don't have to write the responses to all these different emails. And if you know how to prompt and you know how to train the AI correctly, it can respond to your emails like to a T. And it can even learn based off of your old emails, like how your tone is and how you tend to respond, and then replicate that as well. So just to recap here, I know that wasn't like exactly 10 specific automations, but you can break each one into like a couple different ones depending on what your intent is or what you're actually trying to automate. So just to summarize here, I'm going to show you the ones that are most commonly requested that are on our website. So you have buyer onboarding, seller onboarding, social media assistant, so that's reposting your content or planning out your content, or even creating a specific social media weekly plan for you so that you know what content to be filming. AI can do all that for you. Article and blog post writing, so for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for your website, creating articles or rewriting other articles. Document management, so when new documents get signed or when new ones get sent to you, it can organize it for you into the correct folders so you don't have to worry about it. CRM assistant, you can create automations that hook up directly to your CRM to do specific things like to notify you or to send you follow-up reminders or to even send the follow-up emails to the clients. Calendar management, which is probably our most requested one, but also the most complicated one, which is to detect certain dates within your documents or within your emails and to add those calendar reminders into your calendar. Email assistant, so an AI that monitors your email and can write draft responses for you or can put them into specific folders to keep your email inbox organized. Other automations are just different automations that we do on a case-per-case basis for our clients, depending on what type of software and tools that they use. So we have some clients that contact us and say like, hey, I use this certain tool to do this certain thing, and I want to be able to automate the process of what happens when I use it. So for example, let's say you use a specific software tool for booking your showings, and every time you book a showing, you want to be able to send a list of those showings with the specific times to your client. So we can set it up so that when you book those showings through that specific software, it takes the dates of them and it takes the addresses of them, and it sends a text message to your client, says, hey, here's the showing schedule for Monday. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, the goal here is to automate the small things that you do every single day that take up 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and add up to an hour or two a day. I mean, just think about if you had an extra 2 hours every day, and let's say the average agent is working 6 days a week, that's 12 hours every single week or 48 hours a month that you've gained back, that you can do whatever, spend more time with your friends and family, or to use it getting more leads, or even just to service your current clients that you have so that you're a better agent. 48 hours or even 24 extra hours or whatever it is can put you ahead of your competition and just give you so much of your freedom back and even make you more money. This is the part where I plug myself really quick. On our website, you'll see that all of these popular ones that we get requested all the time, we also offer the full suite. So you can get every single one of these automations set up and managed for you on a monthly basis. And we do that as a package price that's heavily discounted if you were to get all of these individually. I also offer a free PDF guide on our website of the 10 most recommended and requested automations that we get from our clients. It's totally free. It's on our website. I'll drop a link in the description below too of where you can get it. And if you have any questions on these specifically, just want to brainstorm ideas of what you can automate within your business, you can book a call with me on the website as well, and we can just chat. Like, it's a no obligation call. You don't have to sign up for anything. We can just chat about your business, your processes, what could be automated, what couldn't be, and just what the possibilities are. So feel free to check that out as well. If you have certain things that you want me to go more in depth on or certain questions, just drop them down below and I'll be sure to answer all of them. I know some of these weren't super specific on how to build it out, but it gives you sort of a baseline of how to get started and what's possible. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have if you're wanting to build out these automations for yourself. Or if you don't want to spend all this time building these automations out for yourself and managing them on a monthly basis and, learning prompting and learning all these different things, our company, Agent Automation, does this for real estate agents every single day. Again, our goal is not to get you more leads, it's to give you more of your time back. With that time, you can do whatever you want. Like most of us, you probably got into real estate to be able to make your own schedule and to have free time to, do whatever you want to do. But a lot of agents find that once they start to get busy, they don't really make their own schedule. They're sort of just abiding by whatever their customers need or whatever the specific dates of their deals are. We want to help agents get their time back so that they can live that dream that they originally signed up for of being able to make their own schedule and have free time to do whatever they want to do in life. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Drop a comment below, subscribe if you like. I'm going to be posting more videos on things like this, and I'm going to be going more in depth on some of these automations as long as my clients give me permission to show certain things. Again, keeping client information confidential is super important to us. I never want to accidentally show like what their ad is or different things by showing these automations. So that's why I'm just so careful with showing some of the stuff that we actually build for our clients. But if you have specific questions on how we did certain things, just drop a comment below and I'll definitely answer it for you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.